in another episode in the past, I believe it was in the fall, when we talked about the fact that most managers aren't trained and they're just making it up as they go along. We have to have an intervention to that because the effects are not only harmful, but we're on record of it being harmful. Um, there's even the U.S. Surgeon General who said that toxic workplaces is now a national hazard. So we've got to do something because every survey, every research report, all the findings are pointing back to the relationship that employees have with managers as being critically important and critically interwoven into other areas of life. But now we need to switch gears and figure out, okay, well, what are we going to do about that? So I think you have some steps of what to do, right?
I do, and I think right before we hop into that, something that I wanted to pick out from the survey that also stood out to me, and hopefully this is a nugget for anybody listening to go and check out the UKG Global Survey because there's a lot of other great information we just simply don't have time to cover. But hopefully this information is enough to make you curious to want to go read more. And one of those takeaways, Joey, was that 81% of employees worldwide would prioritize good mental health over a high paying job. And 64% of those surveyed admitted that they would actually take a pay cut for a job that better supports their mental wellness. And I didn't expect that number to be so high in either cases. So again, I think it just strengthens how important it is to ensure that your managers and supervisors are well trained and equipped to be leading your team and recognize how they they have this ability to highly influence in a positive way, but they also have they also have the opportunity to negatively impact them. And so some quick tips for managers to help your team, and these come out of the survey, is one, to provide an empathetic voice. I think, Joey, you and I, we've talked about that so many times, and it
Hmm.
seems basic, but it's clear to me that we're still missing the mark in some of the opportunities to really connect with our team and help them see that we care and that we're here for them, that we're able to help support them through whatever they might be working through.
Yeah.
And the second one was enable and encourage time off. So Joey, I think so many companies that we've worked with have implemented unlimited paid time off programs, or they've increased their time off programs, and it's great if you have them, but you need to go a next step further and actually encourage the time, help team members take the time, and as leaders, set that example and take the time too.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And what's another tip that you might have to share?
I think the last one from this article, and then certainly if you have thoughts, I'd love to hear yours. Again, no surprise because we've said this time and time again. The article says treat employees like people, and I've mentioned this on prior episodes as caring for the whole person versus just the worker. And that's the concept here is let's not be making decisions and treating our team as a worker. Like we need to have a much broader view in how we interact and how we support them because that's what they're ultimately seeking. And those three things that we just discussed, provide an empathetic voice, enable and encourage time off, treat employees like people, those are pretty basic things that managers can do to
Yeah.
have a more positive impact with their team.
So here's the thing, and this is why I believe employers, big and small, have always considered HR to be a cost center and not a value driver. And it's because we've always considered humans as resources and humans as capital. But to your point, treating employees like people helps you start to track and realize the ROI and the return on what happens if I treat a person like a person. Are they more productive? Are they staying at our organization longer? Are they referring people to work at our organization? So once we make this shift collectively to transition from treating people as resources that can be projected and plotted on a map or human capital, where we only see their value from the standpoint of their work product or our assumptions of the work product, that's when we'll really unlock the potential of getting people more excited about Monday than they are about Friday and unlocking those gains in productivity and operational effectiveness that we already know how to track. We're just not setting our organizations up to track those things from the landscape or from the perspective of treating people like people.